Happy Saturday. Hey y'all, so I'm so glad you were chiming in, watching us today. And this is our first episode of Sip and Flow, and many of you wanted to know what Sip and Flow is. So Sip and Flow is pretty much a digital corner where we are entrepreneurs. We want to highlight entrepreneurs in business, art, and in wellness. We have awesome guests that come on our show, as well as other business owners and educators and all that good old stuff. So I'm Joye, also known as Snappa Realeryday. I'm an artist as well as an entrepreneur, and this is my lovely, awesome co-host, Naomi Bonman, and she is a journalist as well as an entrepreneur. And I'm going to let her take it on from here. I'm so excited. This is our first one.
Awesome. Thank you, Joy. So this is a new year, new me, or is it just a new year? We have our awesome first guest. Joining us is Miss Tammy Martin-Ryles, and then Miss Tammy is the president of the Inland Empire Black Chamber of Commerce, and I'm going to let her go into a brief bio about herself.
Hello, y'all. How y'all been doing? I'm going to make it brief because y'all know I can talk forever. But just a brief. A lot of people don't know that, I started in sales years ago, with selling chemicals, all that stuff. And I have to say that because, people want to know where I get my entrepreneur vibe from. And so when you're in sales and you're hitting the streets and you're making those cold calls, you learn. You're in your own business. So I've always been an entrepreneur, stepping out the gate. And going through Fortune 500 companies really tightens you up. So to come into who I am now, I'm an educator. I teach science in high school, anatomy, biology, all that stuff. And then, of course, I do have my own business, but it's hard to own your own business and run it when you're trying to run the Black Chamber of Commerce of the Inland Empire. Just recently, I've just launched my Get Raw with Tammy, and that's the takes you on the pathway of going from whatever you're doing now into plant-based, but not only just plant-based, but healthy plant-based. I'm your girl. So right now, I'm just here sipping and flowing.
Yay! I love it. Okay, Naomi. So I'm going to tell us a little bit about yourself, and you just did that. So that's on you.
And then, so I know you're also vegan. So what inspired you to go vegan?
Well, let me tell you. I grew up on a farm. So I've always had, a love for animals, and I always have a love for the land and the environment. But we tend to let the environment get in our way. And when it gets in your way, when people tell you, when I was at the early age of 15, 16 and not wanting to eat meat and oh, why are you doing that? That's the wrong way. And you're so impressionable under other people. And you're like, maybe my way is wrong. So I would sneak a little bit. I would go back into meat and stuff. And then on through college, I just was never really a meat person because I was going back to those roots. Like, I don't think this is right. I grew up in the South, so I had my plenty share of meat. But then at the same time, killing animals, and looking, I'm like, I don't think we're supposed to be doing this. It looks a little bit like murder. Okay, I know, right? I know people like, ooh, nobody don't want to face that reality. But as I grew older, I began to do more and more research over time, and probably off and on. I've never kept a significant amount of meat at my house. It was always maybe like seafood, or maybe if I had guests coming over, maybe a little bit of chicken. But then I just saw the writing was on the wall. And I went through my period of gaining weight and trying to figure out, why is this weight coming on? And people don't know how old I am, but going through the whole premenopausal phase. And I have to speak on this because there are a lot of suffering women out there, and they think that they have to go and take all these drugs, and they have to do all these other things. And I truly believe that what's made from the earth is here to heal you as well. So going back to my research, I said, okay, here is where I'm going to have to test what I'm doing 100%. So when I went off of not only meat, but all animal products, and I started using the natural herbs from the earth, and I stopped eating man-made food. There's man-made vegetables, there's man-made fruit. And when I mean man-made, meaning that obviously it comes from something living, but it's been altered. That's why they call it genetically modified. And with all the pesticides, all those chemicals are getting into your system every single solitary day.
Right.
And, you know, we pay so much money in medicine, but there's no money in healthy people.
Right.
You can't make money off of healthy people.
Right.
So that's when I went in, and after I decided, no, I'm not going to take any drugs, I'm not going to do anything, I stopped cold turkey, and believe it or not, none of the symptoms, the weight dropped, everything, because of all of that. Didn't go on a diet, didn't go on any of that. I just started eating food from the earth, more of an alkaline vegan.
That's awesome. And for me too, being a health nut as well, vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian. I was a vegan for a long time. And then I had small bowel obstruction, and then I had to change slightly my digestive system. Then I went pescatarian. But after the surgery, the fish doesn't process for me the same in my body. So I stopped. Now I'm back more on the vegan lifestyle, and I love it. I'm healthy. I mean, and I was telling my husband the other day, I feel so good just not having dairy. My weakness was cheese. I love cheese and eggs. So then I would switch back from vegan to vegetarian. Because when I have the eggs and cheese, I'm no longer vegan. But
I'm a sip on that.
Okay, it's crazy. But I really like how I feel now, and I told him, you know, eating fresh, you know, fresh frozen fruit, veggies, nuts, seeds. I mean, I really enjoy it. Okay, so what makes this year different from last year? Is this a new year, new you, or is it just a new year?
That's interesting, because I sit back and I watch everybody make all the New Year's resolutions, and I think that every day that you wake up should be a new you.
Oh,
And
I like that.
yeah, it should be a new you. You're never too late to start over. Every single day you're starting your day fresh. And so, is this? Ask me the question again, because I'm going to make sure I'm answering it right.
So first, it's like a two-part question. What
Yes.
makes this year different from last year?
The only thing to me, I think, that makes this year different from last year is that I get to evaluate my whole year in just a scope.
Okay.
You know, it's like when you're either on a job, or if you're your business, you have your business, like you have to evaluate what you do every day. How much money did you bring in? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Then you start evaluating your week. Then you evaluate your month. And then you give like this 30-day assessment. Then you give your 90-day assessment. You know, and so I just call it, this is the whole year of assessments that you're doing every time. So let's look at the results overall instead of the 1 day or the 30-day. So if you have to revamp your whole year, to me, and it's not being judgmental, this is just coming from me, is that, you know, what were you doing throughout the whole process? You know?
Yeah.
Did you notice something going wrong?
Right.
You wanted to wait till the year to change it?
Yeah.
So I just say we have to be, time is important, and we have to be efficient with our time. You know something's wrong every day you get up. You know you made somebody mad the other day with your business, or you didn't do something right, correct it then.
Right.
Let's start a new day the next day.
Right.
That's become new every day.
I like that. I
Yes.
really like that. Yeah, I like that. Now, the second part of that question is this a new year and new you, or is it just a new year?
It's just a new year. It's 365 degrees. It's all about the sun rotating around the earth. Earth rotating around the sun. But no, it's just a new year.
Okay.
Every day is a new year.
Okay. I like that. I'm going to add that to my word for the year. Yeah. You want to say anything about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Usually I'll talk. You know, usually I think I blogged about like the same topic a while ago, just about, you know, how every year people say, oh yeah, new year, new me. But then, you know, it's like the same people like around like March, April, like around that second quarter. Then like, you know, they kind of like, well, you know, I'll do it next year,
Right.
or I'll do the year after that. So it's like you know, a cycle. So I guess like how Tammy was saying, like I think people just have to get in that mindset, like, hey, you know, each day I'm getting better, instead of trying to like put unrealistic or expectations. I think that's what makes it hard to accomplish different stuff.
I agree completely. For me, I feel like I still somewhat feel like it's a newer me mindset-wise. My mind is still strong, and every year I pretty much do, what you say is kind of reevaluate, where we are. But this year I'm sticking more true to not putting more on my plate than I can chew. I was the queen of reschedule it last year, and I really hated that. And I even told, a young lady that I was speaking with that I think people will start to view you a little different every time you need to reschedule. I know things happen, but if you're always saying yes instead of no, sometimes you need to say no. You want to help people. You still have to be realistic about what you can do and say, okay, no, unfortunately I love to help people right now. I can't do that. And that was not me. And I saw that last year a lot. And I said, okay, this year I'm going to do better about saying no, I can't do that right now. So that's the only change I feel like that is happening for me.
Okay. And then speaking on the new year, new me. What tips can you give, like mothers, I guess fathers too, but since you're a mother, what tips can you give like mothers who are on the go, like that want to eat healthy for the new year, that want to kick off their health journey? What advice, like as a mother and entrepreneur and like full-time educator, what tips can you give them on how to eat healthy on the go?
Okay. Well, one thing that I would say about on the go and eating healthy is, number one, it's a mindset, and you have to know your why. Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Because if you're just doing it, I really believe if you're just doing it for vanity, it's gonna end.
Yeah.
Because we're not at our best every single solitary day.
Right.
And I just think that if you know your why, and I'm gonna give everybody my why. My why, number one, is my health. I don't want to depend on anybody for my health, and I don't want to be on drugs, because that is not the cure. It can't cure you.
No.
Right.
Drugs were never, they are man-made. Look. They're man-made. They were not here to cure you. And see, and what trips everybody up when I say that is because we have so many conditions out there. You have people with diabetes, and they'll go run to their metformin and their pills and just say, oh, now I can eat what I want to eat. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I can now be bad because somebody gave me something that was artificial. Yes. So it's like, no. Right. You're not taking care of your why. So the why is, figure out what the why is. My why is health. My next thing is animals. I don't believe that anybody should be killed, and I don't believe any animal should be killed. And I ask everybody, who out there has pets? And I said, what if somebody went and slashed your little pet's throat? Then they'd be like, oh my God, that would be horrible, because that's the law says. But then we want to go and then, kill all these animals, and they're fighting and screaming for their lives. And then last but not least is the environment. So I am an environment person. I don't go into the lies of water, that we're utilizing water. No, it's the 54 billion animals that they kill every year. So I would say, understand your why. I gave them my why. And how purposeful is your why to you? How does it affect you at the end of the day? How does it affect your kids? Because your kids see you every single solitary day. And the tips that I would give is preparation. I deal with less time with food now than I did before. The question is, to be a raw vegan, I'm 70% raw, meaning that I only cook about 30% of my food. They're like, oh my God, you spend so much money and it's so much prep. Well, I get up to make a smoothie 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I chop up some food. I can go through different things that I eat, but I will not only save money. I'm looking in the camera when that I spend less money and I spend less time. Right. And I said, okay, you want to make that steak or that chicken? So what you do? Pull it out of the refrigerator and start eating it?
No.
Oh, and most of them marinated overnight. Come on, girl, let's start counting these hours.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when I used to go to my friend's house to eat, and I never spent more than 20 minutes on cooking, even when I wasn't a vegan. He was like, oh yeah, girl, give me time to cook. It's 2 hours later. What you cook?
Yeah.
How much time it took you to make that macaroni and cheese? How much time? What's the average time they take to make macaroni and cheese?
45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Yeah. Now to make my vegan macaroni and cheese, you're talking about 10, 15 minutes.
Really?
Okay. So I would say always keep healthy food on you, and I might be talking to you.
No, that's no, you're
Always,
fine.
and prepare at night, because you know, if we always talk about prepare for your business so it doesn't fail. Why don't we prepare for our health?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So your health is number one. That is what's going to keep you around forever, and you won't be spending that much money. So that's number one. Prep for yourself. Treat yourself better than you would treat your business.
Wow. That's a good one.
Or your car.
That's a good one.
Men tune up the car. They wash their car every day. Girl, don't put your fingers on my car. Come on now.
Right.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Go
But
through
you understand
fast
what I'm
food.
saying?
Yeah,
How many of y'all know people out there that care so much about their cars? You can't, but then they don't care about their bodies.
Yeah. I think it's too. I have a lot to do with lack of education.
A lack of education.
You know, a lack of willingness to want to learn something new, and they think it's going to be so much more difficult than what it is. But like you said, it's really, really easy. You know, to live a healthy lifestyle. And it's not that expensive.
Yeah, and
as they think.
Yeah, and I want to say this. I do not blame anybody out there, because this society and the government has put this on us. It's not any of our fault. It really isn't, because you know, our parents do the best that they can. Everybody, we believe, we trust when we go to the supermarket that what we're eating is healthy. So we've been lied to. Okay, so I don't blame people, but I think when you get in the know, just research and learn a little bit more instead of closing your eyes and say, I don't want to know what's in my food. I just like it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And I would say too, healthy tip wise, you know, for me, I second all of that. A family of 5 can really eat healthy, and fresh frozen food is just as good as fresh food. And even some of the follicles and enzymes are actually a little bit better frozen in your frozen food versus your fresh vegetables, because in shipping fresh vegetables, it loses its value by just sitting out. So you could have a family of 5 have veggies, you could have, you know, your grains, your rice, and meat less. You know, I am an advocate for, you know, less is more. But you can also go to the farmer's market. Let's go be shopped at the farmer's market, and you can actually buy a lot. I mean, have a grocery full of vegetables of all kinds for not a whole lot. So I truly second that. And my last question would be, what are some of the demands being a member of the Black Chamber of Commerce in the Empire, as well as a business owner, and how does the multiple roles impact motherhood?
Okay. Now, you talking from my standpoint, or what I see other people go through?
You know, what you go through.
Well, I can say that if anybody knows me, they know my work ethic, and I make this stuff look easy, you know, because I'm smiling and I'm having fun out there, and so I'm going to say, enjoy what you do. Know what your purpose is. Get into business because they want to get into business for money. You do not have the joy or, you know, enjoy doing it. It's not going to be good for you, and it's not profitable. It's, you know, you might make a lot of money, but you're going to grudgingly do it and not feel very happy.
Right.
So I have to say, just being in the chamber, I love the chamber. I love meeting new businesses. I love helping to educate and bringing businesses with other people and bringing resources. That's what my job is. And then having my business, the only regret that I have is that I have so many demands on me from the chamber that it's hard for me to run my own business. But I think that waking up every morning saying that my new me is that it's not an excuse. I'm going to have to do it anyway. And I'm going to have to get in your face and say, hey, I'm doing this, but get raw is all about how you do it.
Yes.
What you doing today. So, and that's what, you know, my purpose is, because I like to put so many people, I can't say first, but I put people's needs. I wear it on my sleeve, I wear it in my heart, and I genuinely care about people, care about their business, and I just love what I do.
Yeah.
So, but how I balance that with motherhood, I think it's really not a balance. My daughter It's a part of my life. So she sees me. She understands that this is who I am. So what I'm doing and who I'm talking to, I hope that she's getting nurtured through that. And I'm being an influence on her. And I always tell her, you can talk to me. Tell me what's on your mind. Don't think I'm not neglecting you. Mommy has to do this. You know, what is it that you need to do? I can stop in the middle of the beat and say what you need help on.
Right.
So, and I think, I think a lot of times people think that they are sacrificing, that they can't get in something because they feel like they can't sacrifice their family. And I'm thinking that kids are extremely resilient. They are learners.
Yeah.
And so when we're not showing them and sharing them our life and sharing our walk, sharing the mistakes, going through why I didn't succeed in that, and they don't hear it, they're going to make the exact same mistakes that I made because I didn't even share it with them.
Right.
I want to grow a stronger child. So.
That's awesome.
I agree.
Okay.
That kind of just comes natural. I definitely agree. I'm not at that stage of motherhood yet, but
Me either. Nothing baking yet.
but yeah, but I could definitely agree that, you know, I guess once I do get there, I can see that, you know, just kind of, like you said, just kind of incorporate it. You couldn't have it all. You definitely could have it all. Yeah.
I agree too. So where can they find you on social media and your website?
Everywhere. You can, the Black Chamber of Commerce is BCC. That's B is in boy. I have to say this because, you know, C is in cat, C is in cat. Inland Empire spelled out .com. You can catch Tammy Martin-Ryles on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of that, and get Raw with Tammy. You can catch me on Facebook as well. I do have a blog. It is Get Raw with Tammy. And I have a YouTube. Don't go there yet because I will be putting more stuff up on YouTube and all that stuff. But just follow me. That's all I'm going to say. All over.
That's awesome. This is really, really good. I'm really excited and so glad that you were able to come in to our first episode. We wrapped it up. I hope this was something really valuable to you guys and very, very authentic. Health and wellness. You also know for me, as being a health and wellness enthusiast with the Real Weight Smashers, where we work with kids and families to overall help them empower them mentally and physically. And my homegirl Naomi here.
Thank you guys for tuning in so far. Oh yeah, and don't forget, if you're into health and wellness, the Black Chamber is also having the Black History Expo on Saturday, February 2nd, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so make sure you check it out.
We're not chiming out yet.
Yeah.
We're not chiming out.
So I'm gonna let Tammy tell you a little bit more about the expo.
Girl. Hey, y'all. Back again. Black Chamber of Commerce 4th Annual Black History Super Expo celebration is coming to you. February the 2nd, downtown San Bernardino, Court Street Square. It's either 300 Northeast Street or 349. Get all the addresses. But if you come to the corner of Court and E, then you're going to find us. Last year we had about 99 vendors. This year we expect the same. We got a lot. We added some new addition of things. We have fashion shows that's going to take place all throughout the event. We have also added an art museum. So you'll be able to come and see all kind of art. Definitely will see black art of all different types. So you need to be there. And then Southern California Edison Plug in America wanted to be a part of this event. They're going to bring electric vehicles out, and they want you to come and test drive. If you test drive, for the first 100 people that test drive, you get a free lunch on them at the expo.
Nice.
You hear me?
Nice.
Yes. So, I mean, it's just everything. Just come. It's got something for kids, a little kids zone. It's from 10 to 5. And let me tell you, it's going to be stuff all the way from 10 to 5. You don't want to miss out. We're going to have the second line. Since this is Mardi Gras theme, we're going to have second line through the venue with the handkerchief, the beads, everything.
Nice.
So, y'all see the peace sign? Come.
It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. I'm going to be there. I'm going to go.
I'm gonna go. It's always good. It's been the past 2 years. It's always been fun. So you guys will definitely have fun.
Okay, I'm looking
And bring
forward
out the
to it.
kids.
And we are still looking for more vendors and entertainers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Before we chime out, we're also going to talk about hot topics. That's one of our things. Slip and Flow is something new that we're starting, so we're working on branding and everything, and this is going to be a phase for us. So within our overall theme, we do hot topics. So what is the hot and trending topic right now?
Girl, you know, y'all know Surviving R. Kelly. Everybody's seen
Surviving
that.
R. Kelly. We've already dropped the podcast about it, you guys, so go ahead and check out the podcast on Anchor FM Marriage Real Talk, as well as our YouTube channel. We've done a reaction video to this, but let us women talk about this for a quick second here. What are your views on Survivor? We're not going to make this long or drawn out, but we need to hit some key things, and everybody should speak their piece about it. So let's start.
She said, what's my view on what?
Just on your view on the whole situation in a nutshell.
Girl, first of all, everybody want to act like this stuff is just new. Mm-hmm. You know, this exists in our black community, in every community. So we're trying to act like it doesn't. We know too many, we know too many people that have been in counseling, and because somebody in the family that they know has done something.
Yeah.
Come on now, let's not stop playing. Mm-hmm. Oprah done even talked about it, and her family. Stop playing. So when this happened, we should have all knew something was wrong with Aaliyah when Aaliyah was involved.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we turned a blind eye. So I'm just gonna say it's always been around. My opinion has always been the same. It's wrong, and we need to address it. But we also need to address his life.
Yeah.
And on both ends, everybody says, I don't care what he went through. Well, you'll never stop the cycle.
Right.
Look from both ends.
Yeah, and that's how I feel myself as well. To me, it's a lose-lose. Both people suffer.
Exactly.
It's clearly mental health, and on the video it talked about the documentary about him being molested between the ages of 7 to 14. That's a long period of
very
continuous
long
molestation. So what can you expect? I'm a person that works with youth. I work with youth that have behavior problems, psychological issues.
And didn't get any education.
Right, and we grow up. So kids grow up. We're all kids that have grown up. So the same thing with him. Of course what he did, I'm not condoning by no means whatsoever. However, it was never put on the video that he was holding anyone at gunpoint. So at any time, I just question why didn't they fight for their life, because I would have. It would have been him or me if I had been in that situation. I've been the same person since I was a young girl. My dad told me never to get in the car with anybody. He said, if anybody tries to take you, he said, you fight for your life. He said, I don't care. You don't get in that car with that person. And that's the mentality that I've had. Yes. So I feel like it was sad that these women wanted to have such an awesome career and just allowed that to blindside them and allow themselves to be mistreated, in that relationship. But I feel like they had to care about him and love him somehow, some way, to allow themselves to be in that type of situation. And I just felt so sad for them. I feel sad for both of them.
I definitely agree. And since I'm a journalist, I could never say, I could never say, which side I'm on. But I definitely do think like you said, it's like a cycle. Like with R. Kelly, both his brother being molested as a child and never seeking that counseling. So definitely think that we need to really start instead of turning like our cheeks or turning like our backs on the situation, like we really need to really maybe form support groups, or even us as black journalists, especially like black journalists, we need to use our platform to reach out and say hey, especially to the men. I applaud what's her name, the one that started the Me Too movement. But I think we also need it for men too, especially our black men. Our black men, they go through so much, and they always have in society they're always taught men don't cry, men don't show men don't show their emotions. So that I think that kind of way causes our men to kind of act the way they act, or be less affectionate or whatever. So I definitely think we definitely need those support groups. But where do we start as a question?
Well, I think, for us to be starting right here, with resources, with someone who's in the commerce to say, let's have a sit down and meeting in our communities and address this issue, let's talk about things. For me, it's it's having an emotion is relative. And I tell kids all the time that it's okay to be angry, it's okay to have, be frustrated, it's okay to upset and yell, it's okay to do those things, but it's not okay to slap your teacher. It's not okay to throw a chair in the classroom. It's not okay to go and try to stab your mom with a pen or a pencil. That's not okay. So how do we get these emotions out and expressed in a positive way? It comes from meeting and sitting down and having some resources to be able to do this, putting it out there. But when we open up the door, people don't come. So the question to me would be, how do you get them to want to say, okay, I need help, I need to sit down? Because when you're a child, you know, you're made to get the help that you need. But when you grow up and you still haven't addressed these psychological problems, no one is forcing you unless you're a harm to yourself or anyone and someone else. And then the law was called, and now you're forced to have to go. But how do we get people to say, okay, you know, I need help, I need to go and talk to somebody before I do some harm? You know, how does that happen?
Probably have to do like what Primerica does. You know, like how Primerica, like they do, like to get you to their meetings. They really want to tell you what it is. They're like, hey, you know, I have this opportunity.
They're gonna get you, girl. They're gonna get you.
Oh my God.
They're gonna get her. Let me sip on that one. Let me sip.
I've been guilty. I was in the network marketing business, so I know how it goes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna sip on that one.
People know it's true. They always, that's how they get you to the meetings. They never tell you what it is. So maybe we have to do or free food.
We're gonna say give away something free.
Yeah, give away something free. You know, like
incentive.
You know, black people, we love food. We love anything free.
Socializing.
So yeah, like maybe give them, like, okay, we'll give you this to, you know, change your life or to help you grow.
That's a great idea. Okay, y'all, we're chiming out. Thank you so much, Miss Tammy Martin-Ryles, for coming and speaking with us and sharing your wealth of knowledge. And you know where to find her and also us, the Snappa Red. Our YouTube channel is Country Boy and Snappa Red, as well as our podcast is Marriage Real Talk on Anchor. And Naomi Bonman is at Naomi Bonman on Instagram.
Naomi K. Bonman.
Naomi K. Bonman on Instagram. Same thing on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Naomi K. Bonman on Facebook.
And then Purposely Awaken. And if you want to follow a magazine, go at Purposely Awaken _. And then you can also follow the West Side Story newspaper on Facebook.
All right, you guys. So this is our first one. We'll be back pretty soon, the next couple of weeks, with our second episode. All right. Take care. Bye.